These are the most emotional moments in football that are almost impossible to forget if you watch them. Starting with the most heartbreaking moment that happened a few hours later after this stunning free kick goal. The man is Christian Atsu, and you can just tell that it was a big moment for him as he continued celebrating even in the dressing room after the match. But little did he know, his life was about to take a devastating turn. That same day, a powerful earthquake struck the southern region of Turkey, where Atsu was located. His wife and children were safely in England, where Atsu had been playing for Newcastle, but Atsu himself was in Turkey in the southern region. The building he was in completely collapsed as a 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck. Atsu's wife and children were waiting anxiously for news, hoping he would be found alive.
I heard it over the radio, and I was just basically saying to my mom, it's fine, it's not his area, because I was like, no, there's no way that's exactly the area where he's living. So I was like in shock. It's like you can't really believe it, that obviously something like this happens to someone that you know.
Initially, reports emerged that Atsu's body had been found, but it was later revealed that the man they found was not him, so the search for Atsu continued. It took 12 agonizing days until February 18th, 2023, when his body was finally found in the rubble.
When his agent called me in the morning, like 3 a.m., I knew, because you don't call someone at 3 a.m. saying, oh yeah, he's still alive. And he was just calling me and saying, I'm so sorry. And I couldn't cry that time because I think I was in shock. I was like, no, maybe it's not him, you know. And he was like, no, it's him. We've seen him, we've seen his body. So yeah, it was not nice, no.
We feel pity for you, Christian Atsu. May God help your loved ones cope with this unbearable loss, as we all remember your positive reputation and the joy you brought to the beautiful game. But this man can't believe what has happened. He's mourning the loss of a dear friend and mentor, someone who helped him in his darkest hour. But the question is, who is this man who left an indelible mark on his life? Well, he is none other than Leicester City's owner, Vikhai Srivaddhanaprabha. Vikhai was a humble billionaire who helped those in need, and his kindness and generosity inspired countless people. But what happened after this Premier League match between Leicester City and West Ham was truly heartbreaking. Vikhai wanted to watch the England versus Spain match at Wembley Stadium, so he boarded his AW169 helicopter at the King Power Stadium, bound for Luton Airport, where he would catch his jet to London. At first, everything seemed fine, but disaster struck when the helicopter reached 430 feet above the stadium. The tail rotor failed. This was the big issue because, when the main rotor of a helicopter rotates, it creates a torque force that tries to turn the helicopter in the opposite direction. That's why the helicopter has another rotor at its tail, which produces an opposing force to counteract the torque caused by the main rotor, maintaining directional control and stability. But in this case, the part of the tail rotor stopped working, causing the helicopter to lose stability and spin out of control, eventually crashing into the car park of the King Power Stadium. The crash claimed the lives of Vikhai Srivaddhanaprabha, Eric Swaffer, his girlfriend, and 2 members of staff. People mourned their lives and paid tributes in their honor.
I recently lost my wife and sons in a fire, and they've been good to me. They've been very supportive, and they even gave me the hall for the wake, and it's a big shock.
An utter devastation. He breathed so much life into Leicester City, but not just as a football team, but as a city.
You can just tell by their voices that this moment deeply touched them. You might think this is the most emotional football moment ever, but the last moment proves that wrong. But before we talk about it, there's another moment I don't want you to miss. Let's take a step back and look at the journey of Dele Alli. Most of you who know him recognized him when he started shining in high-level football, but few know the heartbreaking background behind him.
At 6, I was molested by my mum's friend who was at the house a lot. So my mum was an alcoholic. And then...
As you can see, Dele Alli struggles to explain what he went through due to the grief.
And then I was sent to Africa to learn discipline. And then I was sent back. 7, I started smoking. 8, I started dealing drugs.
Selling drugs?
Selling drugs, yeah. 11, I was hung off a bridge. And then 12, I was adopted, so.
His voice cracks with emotion as he recounts the dark days of his past. But everything took a turn when he realized he had to change. He entered a rehab facility specializing in counseling people addicted to various substances. It was here that Dele Alli changed his previous habits and made the brave decision to start anew and join the football world.
Says Dele Alli. Alli.
Let's move on to the last moment that will leave you in shock. It was on July 8, 2017, during the match between Ajax and Werder Bremen. During that match, a 20-year-old Ajax player named Abdelhak Nouri suffered a heart failure and immediately collapsed. The medical team took too long to restart his heart with CPR, a delay that would have devastating consequences. As a result, FIFA charged the Ajax club €7.85 million due to their slow response, which led to severe brain damage for Nouri. You see, when the heart stops beating, blood flow to the brain stops too. In Nouri's case, the prolonged heart failure meant his brain went without oxygen for several minutes, causing damage to his brain cells. This led to a long-term coma, which lasted for 8 months and 9 days. Then came the moment when Nouri finally awakened from his coma. As he looked outside the window, he saw how people loved him, crowding outside to see him. This deeply touched him, and the moment was truly emotional for everyone who witnessed it. The outpouring of support and love was a testament to the power of football to bring people together, even in the darkest of times.